retard am I? Okay, man. Ace Attorney Christmas before Christmas walkthrough. Not gonna happen. Best video ever, man. Fucking very epic gamer webcam is my favorite one right now. And someone that I can't even mention. His videos, his compilations from Omegle. Not those. Those are quality. Okay, man. List on investigations by Edgeworth, as I promised. Did I turn off display capture? Yeah, I did. Okay. I can't even connect to the chat at the moment. I still can't. Which is garbage, man, I think. What's going on? Retard. This is my favorite Ace Attorney game, by the way. I think Trials and Tribulations is the best, but this one is personally so good. Like it a lot. Okay, man. Turnabout visitor. Let's go. March 14, 1 AM. Make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all is all that matters. No matter what the cost. I thought he's gonna say all I care for. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always has been, always will be. So this guy made that shitty meme on the moon. Thanks, dude. I hate you. I hate you so much. March 14. 2 AM. Prosecutors building 12-4. Hallway. Here's the god himself. It's hard to believe that I have been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office, and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe. Question mark. Question mark. What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? I like blood. Smelling blood. What the? What's the meaning of this? Please. We found your porn collection, sir. Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing murder in the prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? let me make one thing very clear. Was? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Did I change the title so it says Ace Attorney Investigations? Yeah, it says that. I wanna do this case and the next one, and then end it. That would be a big progress. But who knows, maybe I'm gonna have some brain farts during the way, like I had yesterday with the Gambare. That's totally unexpected. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. Jesus, your English is way too British. March 14, 2 AM, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well, please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you oak, sir? Keep it down, detective. There are some graphical glitches, but I guess that's the ROM. I can't even say for sure it's the ROM, because I have seen this on other people's gameplay as well. Like, Gumshoe is glitching there, his arm. Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene, after all. When I heard that the murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. I forgot about streaming Ace Attorneys, like reading every sentence and then commentating as well. Like what's happening. And this is gonna kill me. I remember always getting cancer after every stream, Ace Attorney stream. This is very tiring. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You are looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine, however. Ah, look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. It's, I say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. No, it's mud. No, it's just only mud, not even killing someone. Oh, sounds like you are getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Ok. Time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? So yeah, this game introduced the logic pieces, which makes sense. Finally, a game which, an Ace Attorney game, not about magic and shit. I hated that. I got the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? What is that? I never heard about it. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First, I recall information through the logic button and then connect them together. Now, to touch the logic button and record the facts, you just have to press Q. And it's S? Okay, it's S. I forgot about this. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as a mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You are really on the board today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Also, every case is outside court. Well, except one. You're really on the board. Oh, yeah. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. That means you suck. If you do that. Because you can't even afford deplete your green bar if you are playing as Edgeworth. That's like a crime. War crime. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? And this is where the game is very different. The basics of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. If you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button. Okay. I give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. And this is why I play this game. Okay. Murder weapon. Or is it? What? Okay, X. What we have here? What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? I saw it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model, I think. Detective, if I hear retard. I don't really like guns that much. I mean, they are really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. That's not related to this case at all. Why am I spoiling this? On my chess table. Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, I tried so hard to keep this place spotless, but in the end... Why you were away? Why am I memeing? Stop memeing, idiot. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I water the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day, every Saturday, I would come in and clean this place until it's sparkled. Does he have a life? Whoa, man. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I have inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny, and I'm never gonna read this again. Because he says this every time. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yup, and until the autopsy is done, I don't think we all know much more than that. Please have the bodies sent to the morgue once they are done processing the crime scene. Oh, are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course, this is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch. What? I have but to touch the organizer button. This is really weird English, but it's correct. Like, when people were freaking out at Christoph Gavin's one sentence, that was also correct. So it's really weird. But the organizer isn't only for the evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. What do we have here? Yeah, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh hey, I have the exact same thing actually. What a coin, the king. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Body. It would appear that our victim was a detective just like you. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Are they? So I don't think I inspected. Let's see here. There's blood always. Oh yeah, okay. Reddit. I mean, not that type of Reddit. Your files are all over the floor, sir. Yeah, okay. Same sentence. Okay, so he says I should be using logic. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have been belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes sir, on it now, sir. Excuse me, Paul, let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy is wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Let's see what else we can find about this revolver. As I always say, you've gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll keys to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar or the X and epsilon arrows to zoom in and out to get the nitty-gritty. Oh, okay. This Q or E? Oh, what? Okay. I should stop. I'm gonna read it one more time. Actually, this is what matters. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic. What? With just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. This is actually really weird, because I guess this is about all we are going to find out. We should send the body out to Jim. Why oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me, leave me alone, just let me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Ah, sure, just in bloodstained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you the prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jack Sportsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth and like you, I'm also prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. God. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? Idiot, yes, that is correct. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Surfer Jim. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pa. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them, and only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means I'm the killer. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, he doesn't know. So it was you then, you are Jim's killer. Oh wait, you got it all wrong. Everyone, calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You are right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You are the great genius prosecutor. You are something of a legend, you know. Legend. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? I shoot you. A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry to bargain in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there, sir? The fuck? I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. I should probably give them some space. Oh, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing around. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? No. They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutor debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I see contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. I hate these parts. Why are they referring to Phoenix? Phoenix is dead. He's a retard using magic. But I have my own methods and I will conduct this investigation. Yeah, like logic. Instead of magic, you are a good boy. Good boy. Good man? Good... What was I gonna say? Good person. Good boy. What? When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Okay. gun. Eureka! This is a new thing. This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean? Sir, it's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first fed the victim, and the second fed this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. So a piece of cake. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, it's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I spare us the trouble and just say nothing like what you are imagining is inside. Now if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I would have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Secret save data jotted down in my organizer. I won't rest on... Yeah, okay, Edgeworth. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Okay, we have another logic piece. As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. It's killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? And then there's this. And yeah, actually, sign of struggle with another handgun, wipe fingerprints. Let's do this first. I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Motive? Theft? I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this breaking was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. So what do you guys think about this? Signs of struggle. Maybe it wasn't even a struggle, but it was trying to find something. I don't know this for sure. Should I try it? I can't lose with Edgeworth. That's the problem. Yeah. I think. There is a possibility that the flies splayed on the floor, yeah, are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely, we need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir, I'm gonna shelve files like you have never seen before, even at a library. I'm sure, let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament the dead, will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what we are supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. Got it. Here, let me help. And so this file goes here and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office, because I'm the one who keeps it tidy. Well, okay, done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, as the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kinda grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Yeah, this thing. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim. For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in the file prints indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Organizer W. So yeah, crime scene notes. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around, yeah? This is strange, because why the fuck would that be there? There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see, idiot? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. Sharing brain cells is the best thing. In any case, it means... sharing brain cells. I just imagined. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh, yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with number 0? What are those doing all the way down there, after 1, 2 and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it would be okay to prop the body and back up how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files at first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime, but why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. This... What's that? Why does it say gum shown there in blood? It does? Gum... No, I can't read it. I would say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of a criminal activity indeed. Oh wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. You are going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit. I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they are more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one a bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Might as well. Alright, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply touch the present button, but that's all news. But it's something like there's gonna be a flaw in the testimony every time, alright? Right? Correct. And at those times I need to press the witness by touching the press button. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations too. Very well. I even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. I really like this, that they included this. It was on a separate screen on the older NDS games, like the trilogy, First Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. And I think it was on a different screen in Apollo Justice as well, because I played that on an emulator, this emulator. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer? I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you are not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. This is where the game starts. Rebuttal. Rebuttal. This is interesting. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves tries to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary has been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. Question mark. I have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with, and what a motive. No? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Was it? And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. He didn't... Wait, I don't remember. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't make much for your detective to miss something. What do you think you are? What do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal? There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can say I disagree with him on this point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Despite his lack of attention of detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game finishing spike. Okay, so this is the one that 40? Let's see this, because bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around... Oh. What the fuck? Perhaps you are not aware, Mr. Portsman, there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this. I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor will be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you are joking, I get it. Oh, it's the... If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on the shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the files were stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the files should be is a proof. Yeah, and I mean S is gone and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could have overlooked his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as the detective who can stand the sight of blood. Gasp. Which means what? Exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of the criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low, I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get them, sir. You see, I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Brilliant, absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Hell, you win some and you lose some, that's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really did want to have to bring this up, however. What is it? What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person. Hey, you there? Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Will you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, Paul. Don't. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. She's from Justice for All. First case. Maggie. Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie is the culprit, Par. It was me, that's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, Par. So yeah, it was me. If it was... If it was, you would have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Oh, okay. My throat is dying, and it's been just... I don't know how many. This is a disaster. I don't like streaming Ace Attorney. I really love this game, but streaming it and seeing every fucking sentence is just tiring. I don't know. I need water. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird. as a prime suspect, on top of which she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So saying that she used the master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, would you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give more details is to press him. Okay, thanks for the tip. Because I was gonna fuck around with the organizer to see if something contradicts something. Edgeworth. Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else? I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We are holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you are literally chased off the force. Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. Okay, so... I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. That's just a theory. One hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. See? There goes the truth running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can catch up to it. I don't think you are catching my drift. But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you will understand what I say. That since she is the only one who could have opened her office door. Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Oh, okay. Read it. Investigation water being wet or not? What? By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence. I would love to. But first we should listen a bit more and digest what he is saying. And press him for more information. He didn't give any. Okay. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she is it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's untrue, but... But I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's this supposed to mean? Yes. Moving on, I would hate to get this sidetracked by something unrelated. Oh, I just realized water being wet or not. Like, Ace Attorney Online, or what was it? Ace Attorney Generator? Case Generator? His lava wet. What do you mean unrelated? I wanna hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies, plus I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it would be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that, Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I would like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things, I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Oh my god, all these texts. My throat hurts. And this is just the first case. This Quercus Alba with 10 million fucking testimonies. Yeah, pal, trust me, if you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows, it's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. To the wipe down safe. Easy. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only private to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that the hidden safe was part of her cunning plan, but she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. No, I highly doubt that. I would say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion, that's definitely looking more and more probable. God, I'm XD. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? I like the smugness. Aye. Curses, why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I had only just told him too. Obviously it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. These people have no fucking morals, Jesus. What people? Prosecutors? Or this one single individual, athlete prosecutor? What the? You are still accusing Maggie for the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if she was a thief, he was a thief, he wouldn't have a key to his office. To this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? This guy is low-key snitching his partner to accuse some security guard of murder. Have you played this game? There is a reason behind everything. It was Jim who stole the master key. I mean, I'm sure you played this. Oh, okay. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless... But yeah, so far he's an idiot. However you look at it. Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? There it is, Edgeworth. Now then, I think we are done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's being assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore inagably to run this show. Listen, Paul, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir, you have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I would be more grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We'll meet again. We eat again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. So tiring to read. March 14, 4 AM, Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. What is it with the prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain yourself, maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence, you see, sir. But we have been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information. I was actually stuck here during my first playthrough. There was some fuckery here. That maybe I didn't talk to someone, didn't find something, didn't look into something, like examine something. I don't know. Regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Oh, that's it. that's the last sentence. Okay. Question mark? It's... Ah, isn't this that missing Zero series file, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it as clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these Zero files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly, it's just a collection of court case files, however. The cases within these files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. Wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Oh yeah. What is basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman prize procession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Oh. It looks like you are in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. You must apprehend and punish the killer accordingly post haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious, I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? Love this sentence. Okay, let's check this. Gotta love the prosecutor constantly hitting his forehead. Winston Payne. Tutorial prosecutor in every Phoenix Wright game. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? Oh, okay, so... Maggie or the door? This office. 1203, 1203... Hey Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. Kinda sus. A basketball hoop. In an office building. 12th floor. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her through the present button. Okay. We'll present. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? And the ball to top it off. By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 AM. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those times it was not just gone but stolen, sir. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? Oh, it's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say? Except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless. But I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sorta using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key? Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective. She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Question mark? Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I've even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard. Nice life you have, dude. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know. And just when I thought I have finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I do all I can to help. Okay. About the using master key. Master Chief. What did you mean by you used the master key? Well, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. Okay. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah. What is it? That's right. I just remembered the prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird, quickly. Okay, about the victim first. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once I'd loved to play with them. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir. Oh, on one second thought, I don't think I would fit in all that well with them. It was around 12 AM. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you located the master key to him? No way, it's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see. And then what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close to up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 AM, I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you have never left your keys at home, detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Okay, thanks. Thanks for the information. Logic. Okay, files in this array, another handgun. Master keys was stolen. Use the master's key. Are these related? This key was used to unlock and lock Portsman's office at 12 AM and 1:30. This key went missing from approximately 1 AM until 2:30 AM. Yeah. One can try. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 AM, correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. Jesus. I totally forgot all about that. But thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right. It was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room. Sir? You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then. Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Okay. I won't rest on... yeah, okay. So... Wait, the plate. Yeah, so the plate. Let's see. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office. Yeah, you can mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me, Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202, I mean, really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. Uh-oh. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd. Yup, that's gotta be it. I can't think of any other reason why. I can think of at least 3, but why am I even wasting time thinking about this? The door is locked tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of a high prosecutor, detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you brought it from? So it's logged. Okay. Yeah, it's connected. There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know you are right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman had noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. Prints on the number plate. The prints on the number plate. They will tell us all that we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Oh, no! I failed! I failed as Edgeworth, no! Examine my nuts. What the fuck? Was this supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth? Doorknob? Really? Doorknob? The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey you. Yeah you, Pa, do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So what did you find out? There's no need for such belligerent, nostril-flaring detective. These words. Sir, I have found only Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faye's prints on this doorknob. So only two people's prints. Oh, okay, now because Nagy's fingerprints should be on it as well. So only two people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Yeah. Take that. Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Amazing. What have we here? Finally noticed. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective, I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Yeah, it was kinda sus, you were right. You're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take a note of this. What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I got it, sir. Let's see. But couldn't it have been easier to change the number plates? I mean, just a second thought here. That I'm not gonna say anything just yet. It's so dumb, actually. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I catch up to you later, buddy. Not your buddy, friend. It looks like a note from the victim. Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is. He's game. Although I think it would be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. This isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad Mr. Portsman, someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing. I think we have reached the end of this conversation. No? Oh, I forgot how to go up. Yeah, so I wanna examine this again. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office. You can mistake it because of the basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me, Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly, but since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like this. Okay, I read this. And yeah, I think I was stuck here after this. So I found everything. How about I show you this? I've had to open Mr. Portsman's office for him a number of times before. I've also had the chance to see the inside of his office on a number of occasions too. He's got shelves upon shelves of sports memorabilia, trophies and awards in it. To the point where it's almost beyond gaudy, sir. But maybe I just feel that way because I'm jealous since I don't even have a single one. Don't say that, maybe I make a special God of the Month award just for you. Thanks for trying, but I've already got a mountain of consolation prizes, sir. They are proof of just how unbelievably unlucky my life has been. Plus, getting an award from you just isn't the same as getting a real award, sir. Destroyed. I'm just a little bit security. There's something else about this door that I haven't checked. Really? I checked everything here? What am I missing? A logic piece? I'm missing a logic piece? But this doesn't make sense. Wait. What the hell? Okay, we can try. Okay. I don't think this will work. Yeah, this sucked. Partner. Yes, sir. What the fuck? I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it. Arrest the door? Is that the only talent you have? Oh wait. Detective Gumshoe, you look rather intrigued by something. Care to share? Oh, it's nothing, but I noticed that Mr. Portsman called his partner Jim. And the detective is that Sunday night drama. All my cops is named Jim too. I bet one of them is a big fan of that show. You seem to know a little something about it yourself. I take it you watch it too? Of course, the tight bond of friendship between prosecutor and detective is great, sir. But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have. Friendship, detective? I think you are mistaking it with pity. How can you say that, sir? And after all we have been through to sniff sniff. How about investigating? I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, sir. Examine things by tapping them or by touching the examine button, just like in real life. By checking various things out, we gather evidence and information. You can see the evidence we have collected by touching the organizer button. For information leads is the logic button. That's it. Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable is the way to go. It's called deductive reasoning, detective. Really something you lack. Our Miss Bird? No, she's the killer. Please don't tell me you buy into that accusation, sir. Rest assured, I think she's innocent. However, I need to ask her a few things regarding her security guard position. But if you are only asking, that's okay, sir. Did I just add sir? Like, that's okay, sir, after the okay. Just stand next to her. Yeah, I did. Just stand next to her and then touch the talk button. Then you two can talk about whatever topic you pick. When you want to ask her about evidence, all you have to do is present it. After you chose what to show her, touch present again and you two go. I recommend showing different people different things. You will be surprised by what they say. Thank you for the explanation, though I don't recall asking for one. Oh, just so you know, sir, you can show me evidence in the same way too. I do believe it's time to get down to business and ask some questions of Miss Bird. Ignored again. I was wondering about the investigation. Oh, I've been waiting for this. That a real seasoned pro teach you how it's done. A real seasoned pro of instant noodle cuisine, perhaps. You know that you can always check out the really important spots in more detail, right? Yes. And if the area is too big, you can always use the arrow buttons at the bottom, right? Oh, but don't you worry, the arrows only show up when you need to use them to see more. I knew that as well. And when you think there's a contradiction or something unusual, try deduction. First, you line up your cursor with the area, with the suspicious looking area. Then touch the deuce and choose your poison, I mean evidence. When you have settled on a piece, you've got to present it. I'm pretty sure I already knew that as well, detective. Well, if you can remember that, or that, then welcome to the world of pros. I dub you as Ace Investigator, class dismissed. And all I wanted was an update about the investigation. Let's see this door again, let's see this door again. I can't believe I'm missing something. No, not logic. Why am I pressing U? Oh, it's A. Okay. What about the door itself? A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's kinda majestic too. Fits in really well with the ambience of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portsman seems to be dignified just because of he works behind one of these. Can they not see the suspicious shape under the hoop? No, I already checked it and they just made a note about it. Nonsense, a man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works. But he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne, I suppose custody of work can also be dignified. This guy? Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and this room. Edgeworth, more like blind dwarf. Pain in the ass. Oh, everything is okay, sir. Pain in the ass. A word of advice, stay focused on you may start to lose even more weight. I think it's something to do with Maggie. No, I didn't want to press that. So what do you think about the hoop? You said this already. The door? I had to open Mr. Portson's office up for him a number of times before. I've also had the chance to see the inside of his office on a number of occasions too. He's got shelves upon shelves of sports memorabilia. Yeah, I read this before. What the hell? Yeah, she said you wouldn't like that. key? So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 AM. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was not just gone but stolen, sir. There are signs that it's being moved. Hi, hey, I love basketball. I play all the time when I'm off duty. Interesting. You should see me dribbling, faking and weaving on like a pro with my trusty coat on, sir. They call me the Green Supernova. He wears the tattered wreck of a jacket even on his days off. The victim's gone, huh? The same model as mine. A tool used to protect lives, yet one that can also take lives away. Those who take a gun in hand wield a great responsibility. I hope you understand that. I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I would use this baby is when I'm fighting a hot duel with a convict to look ultra cool. You were doing so well until the last bit. So what about this fire? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Gumsh is a... What was that movie in which a detective was really dumb? A well-crafted high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know. You sleep even out here, detective, in a hallway? Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends up the same way. Me getting trounced by a lawyer. Is that awful? Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime to envision myself winning naturally. Oh, this one! Wait, they have... Valvo 2. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office. Oops, hey, these number plates slide out, right out, sir. You have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... What? That's it? I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle, validating. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job not leaving any clues behind. Ah, why did I have to check this? Whatever. It's over. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. In an Ace Attorney game, the worst thing is getting stuck in an investigation part, not even failing. all the time when there's rebuttal or... What is it called? Not testimony. Cross-examination. How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the real killer is? Well, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it, that's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. This is anything but logical. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come, what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. If I batted a bottle of whiskey, someone would be owing me a Christmas present. March 14, 5 AM, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Oh, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Why am I not surprised that would be Portsman? I mean, they are even showing this in the intro, so it's like the very first case of Ace Attorney 1 and Ace Attorney 2, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. But it's actually a mystery whose the first case's culprit is Apollo Justice. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. And this investigations too. The second. But if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line for you, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. You know, Mr. Jack Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'll be mad too. So I guess you can stay. If you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? I can see right through the unsightly, paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who had ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? Why would you mention this? You mocking me? The legendary prosecutor would never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I have got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know. Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Manfred Joe Mama. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Finally. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlock your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we are done here. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you are stubborn. I suppose you are basing your accusations on something? Question mark. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on with evidence. But that means I should just press it or present evidence. How did you do that? Well, let me tell you. Wait, no, I have to press this first, I think. Unfortunately, I believe I have already shown how earlier. Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Yeah, I was right about this. You claim to have had no way to open my door, however, is that really the honest truth? Alright, I humor you. Go ahead, shoot. Very well then. I propose that you use this to open my door. What should I present here? The master key. Yeah, this doesn't prove anything by itself. This does. I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less. Basketball. He just glitched himself through the door. Wait, hold on for a second. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right, you used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know. But the room you had Miss Bird open at the time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? How do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then use one other thing to give very strong impression that the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. Here comes the basketball hoop. What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite a peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building, which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door was opening, it had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit it in front of my office, to be sure. I see, so that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. Gotham version 1.0. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. It's not over. It's definitely not over. Conjectures rebuttal. Now you are just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. What? Why would anyone say that? So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket is not dirty, I have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Is this true? No wait, this is bullshit. What? But it looks like you are out. What were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regimen? Where are you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly butting, practice, and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. But you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so... S? How do you present? No, misclick. I forgot which W. Am I on the right sentence? Yeah. Objection! That was a lie. What are you talking about? How was that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door. Did you not notice? And right here it says, but you are out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then where were you and what were you doing? Shall I explain it in full detail for you? Finally, this music. You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you. That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me? Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way. This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. Take that! I had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You are right, I didn't find anything, and definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way, if she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office doorknobs have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? You know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. Yeah, this was the intro. Case intro. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. Just wanted to steal your Nintendo Wii. What's happening? And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Come on, it's not that funny. It wasn't funny. I hate you for this joke. I'm banning you. Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all. And he even backed it up. You are the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch the doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied with work-related matters, although there's no excuse. Now that's just flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Notice note. But you can't prove that, can you? But I will. Say something, Edgeworth, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Back me up here, sir. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only realized that I had one just now as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. It's never over. Portsman's alibi. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 AM, correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down at criminal affairs. In criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You see for yourself. I have to press every statement because he didn't say everything about this. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes sir. I go check out his alibi. Sir, be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we are in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 AM. You see? All the evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Wait, don't I still have that fucking logic piece? I have still 2 logic pieces. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 AM, correct?
Hold it.
It is as you say, however... Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? Actually, yeah. He's just rotting there. It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. Oh, come on now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you run into the culprit. I was down at criminal affairs. So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit. Yup. Right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi. Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time. See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Wattson's alibi may seem perfect at first glance, but I know there's a hole in it somewhere. All I need to do is press him a little and see what comes out of it. So I didn't pass the first sentence? Really? N-word? You are correct, it was around 2 AM. N-word as number or nice. I meant nice. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you are spot on with that time. I remember checking my watch then. And make no mistake, it was Luke. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. Impossible, he actually does have a perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we have reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. It really is there! The body is still there! You there? Sir? Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie. Detective Gumshoe. It's not over yet. Objection. Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If I only had a clue, did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time and with logic. Okay, so here it is. Another handgun. Files in disarray. Sportsman's alibi. Evidence points to the shells being disturbed once before and once after the murder. But who is to say that the person who did it the second time is the same as the first? Which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. And this is where this connects with this thing. I like how this game is low resolution. So even with my shitty bitrate settings and resolution settings in OBS, it looks HD. Like really. I like streaming these games. Emulator games. If indeed there were 2 culprits, then that resolves the contradiction behind our murder weapon. Despite the fact that there were 2 bullets here in this room. The murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, leaving the possibility that the other bullet was fired from the other visitor's gun. Furthermore, if you suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back, Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you have finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth. So what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I have assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just an average thief. A thief, but sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, 2? 2? It explains both why my shells were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office. Now you are just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof. You know. I'm misreading words now. I'm really tired of reading. Streaming astronomy is tiring. Try it out once. That you read it out loud. Every fucking sentence. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves, and this is the first time. So then this will be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct, and then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith. Why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct, and as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then... Perfectly signed with the music. He killed him, he silenced Mr. Faith for catching him. What was this slowdown here? Act of stealing. Holy shit, what is happening? What the fuck is happening? Okay. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, in the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Porson wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. Oh my fucking god, I can't read! What's wrong with me? He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved, however. There was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another? Visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen 0 files, right, sir? Correct, only just as the thief was about to leave with the file I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during the brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice as the 2 bullets was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Precisely, so now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief and was not in fact Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we know now that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. What is this drama here? What's so funny? Paul? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which we have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that. He really likes the jacket. I don't even get his, dress. But he has a point, I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this, don't worry, Maggie, I'll do something if I must. Doctor, white coat, this pinkish shirt, don't know. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. And again and again. Portsman's Alibi Part 2. This is the last one. This implicates it. This music implicates it. That thief you run into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was done at criminal affairs, so I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. Okay, I know what I have to do here. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be wasting time on dead-end discussions. I don't think it's all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I knew he was here, at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Don't worry, Edgeworth, I'm on it. Okay, so about these evidence. Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Oh, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know, the sofas in the hallway, he likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? They were things related to yesterday's case, just 2 items, a gun and the pendant. That's it. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems to be crucial to let slip through the cracks. So yeah, really? 2 items? Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase is here. You fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully. Oh, it says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Sir, I bring these chat logs to prove that this guy did indeed say the M-word. Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe? You don't have to say it, sir. I pat the guy down from head to toe. Oh, don't come any closer, I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation part, so don't even think about stopping me. No. Hey, what's this? Pets and smooches, woo? He had this on him. Oh, the pedo porn. We found the pedo porn! You are under arrest, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? I don't know. Maybe that's because it's illegal? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would what is that word? Unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. Don't for the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. KJ8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, was it recorded on this? Isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once over. What? This isn't what's important? Oh, it's at the back. Blood. Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Fate's blood? And no, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. God damn it, amateurs. If I had to take a guess, he's the imposter, kick him. I would say the only one on here would belong to the murderers, you and Mr. Faith. I mean, he was. He died. I mean, he was faking tasks in his own room, so he wasn't working out. He was lying. He swallowed the medal, yes. This isn't even the best breakdown you will see. Well, actually, I'm not gonna continue this, so this is where I ended, but Turnabout Airlines is the best breakdown in this game. March 14, 5:48 AM. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. Good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I got stuck on that sentence. Thank you so very much. Isn't it? Thank you very... Thank you. Thank you so much. Or whatever. Double enthusiasm. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing, I'm just sorry you got caught up in the murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. It was nothing really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I would have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for the security detail. You know something, sir? Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence. And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Oh, then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. This?
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, you wonder who it was. Just Phoenix, right? And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that had me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this file. I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is it a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It's the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. It's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about? Yes, it is the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is a noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about the thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once the target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with the single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. This is funny. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. And this is where the second case comes in, but I won't play that tonight. The end. Thank you guys for being with me on this very pleasant stream, during this very pleasant stream. Just for BM I'm gonna hang myself, okay? So, and I'm gonna reincarnate. Oh, I spoiled it. Fuck. I know. Because I played it and these are lined, highlighted. So this is where I'm gonna continue, and it was 2 hours long. What? 2 hours long stream. Okay, well, see you guys next time, and stay clean and eat a lot of vegetables, but meat as well. A lot of meat, and maybe like, so if you eat a lot of meat, you should eat at least 80% meat and 20% vegetables, and then just vomit out the vegetables and let the meat in your body, just the meat that you eat or ate. See you guys next time. What the fuck?